Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the 2024 NHL Draft Lottery live stream. Live reaction, especially as a Canadiens fan. The Habs with the fifth best odds tonight. But all in all, we're just here to react to the drawing itself. The Sharks have the best odds, but after that, it could be Chicago at 2, Anaheim at 3, Columbus at 4. Who knows? Or will there be a surprise? Ottawa at 7, Seattle at 8. You never know, as it's been a few years since we've had a big jump. Maybe I'm remembering it wrong, but I think maybe like Philly jumping from like 12 to 2 with Nolan Patrick was the last like really big out of nowhere low percentage odds jumps. We've had 3, we've had 4 jumping up, but I don't know, maybe we're due for one this year. So welcome, ladies and gentlemen, is our 3rd annual Draft Lottery live stream. 2 years ago, we had fingers crossed for the Canadiens. They got it. Shane Wright, who I thought at that point, that ended up being Juraj Slavkovsky. And of course, last year, the Connor Bedard. Canes didn't win that one, but they ended up getting David Reinbacher, which I'm happy enough with when you can't get first overall for Connor Bedard. Yeah, the Rangers jump. That's true, but I were the odds a little different because of the COVID year? Is that why for the Rangers season? But I don't know. I forgot how big their jump was. But we'll be covering it here, ladies and gentlemen, through it all. We are here following on Sportsnet as well. Draft Lottery 2024. Ron Macklin, here he is. It'll be a little bit of time until we actually get the results themselves. So if we just start looking at the draft lottery, if you're curious about the odds and where players are, the interesting thing about this lottery is that there are a few locked picks. If the Penguins were to win one of the lotteries with their 1.5% odds, their pick, which is going to the Sharks, would come back to them, and they would instead be giving up their 2025 first-round pick. The Devils have a locked pick, as that is it's locked for sure 1 to 28, and the Flames have a locked pick 1 to 19, so that's also locked for them as well. But that's going to cause other implications for them. Calgary have been giving up their 2025 first in the Monahan deal and all that. Down here, other teams, many more trades from the Stanley Cup contenders right now. But we've been simming lotteries. We've been saying over in the Discord server, especially, what are we going to be? What kind of results could we see? There could be some crazy ones for sure. Seattle jumping from 8 to 1 would be crazy. The Canadiens getting a top 2 pick would be great. I think it's Celebrini and everybody else. But number 2 does seem to clearly be, if we look at the Central Scouting rankings, Bob McKenzie rankings, and all that. If my tabs can load here. It does seem to be Levchinov at number 2 in most rankings. After that, there's Lindstrom. There's I'm surprised that the Central Scouting have them so low, but in Bob McKenzie it makes a bit more sense. Silyov, there's Yzerman, there's Catton. There's a lot of players who go in the 3 to 10 or maybe 3 to 8 range who some teams would say, oh, great, he was our number 1 guy who we would have taken if we had 3 or 4. We're getting him at 8, 9. Sam Dickinson, Konsta Helenius, of course, some big names here. Cole Yzerman has dropped a lot as well. Demidov would be great for any team. But yeah, so all that to say, the team that gets, I would think number 2 is Levchinov, but the teams from 3 after, it's going to be a real mix. It's going to be hard to predict who goes where. But we do know, guaranteed, you would think with 99.9% accuracy, Cole Yzerman, Macklin, Celebrini going first overall. See, in this one, San Jose goes 1. This makes sense for Philly jumping 10 spots, but then everybody else drops 1. So that would be hurting these other teams. Utah jumping 4 spots. St. Louis jumping 10 spots, winning a lottery going from 16 to 6 in that one I just simulated. Canadiens jump up. That would be great. So we have live coverage here from Sportsnet, as we'll be keeping an eye on all this. The draft is in June. Is it June 23rd or June 24th? That's the draft. I'm looking forward to the Macklin Celebrini career simulation. As soon as Bill Daly flips that card, I'm turning on the PlayStation. I'm going straight to NHL 24 to run the sim. Last year, I ran it with Connor Bedard at the night of the draft lottery. On the PlayStation 4 on NHL 23 to record the entire 20 years, edit, upload. I think it took me about 13 hours, did an all-nighter. I'm hoping tonight it'll be a different story with the PlayStation 5. And Joseph starting off with $1.99, Utah going to draft more Russians like Arizona. I could see it. I could definitely see that for Arizona/Utah. Thanks, Joe, starting off with $1.99. Thank you so very kindly for that donation. That adds an entry for you into our raffle for created players here on the channel to get a created player in one of our franchise mode series. So Joseph gets another entry there. Thank you, my friend. And there you go, Noah. The birthday could be on your draft, June 23rd. Wasn't there a rule that you can't jump more than 3 places? No, the rule is that you can't jump more than 10 places. So any team that wins outside of, so any team 14, sorry, what am I saying? 12. Yeah. Any team 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, any team that wins the lottery would only jump 10 spots, picking at 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. To get the top, to get the number one overall pick, you have to be from 1 to 11, if I'm understanding that correctly, because Buffalo jumping 10 spots gets them to number 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, if I'm understanding that correctly. So there you go. How upset, Golden Gamer says, how upset will Sharks fans be if Chicago jumps up to number 1 again? Chicago getting that would be ridiculous. Not to say that I have anything against Chicago. Maybe I do subconsciously with everything that happened in their organization, but I think I'd say rightfully so. But nothing against Blackhawks fans. It's just after Bedard, you would think like that they've used up all their luck. Yeah, can't jump up more than 10 spots. Can't win the lottery more than 3 times in 10 years. Understood. There you go. And Joseph answering early with his donation. How do they stretch this? It's 30 minutes. It's 6:30 to 7. So thankfully, it's just 30 minutes, and we'll get the results afterwards. And then starting at 7 o'clock. 7 o'clock, I'm going to try to what's the word I could use? To wolf down my supper, and then I'll get simulating on the career sim. If it's not Montreal or Chicago, redo it, says Joseph. Well, I'm sure a lot of people would prefer. I think San Jose is a team that makes a lot of sense. You can't predict lotteries, but I think San Jose is a team that makes a lot of sense as they are really hurting. They would have Celebrini slot into a top 6 player, a top 6 role, you would think right away. Meanwhile, Celebrini on these other teams would probably have to work his way up a little bit. Celebrini in Anaheim has some centers in front of him in the Trevor Zegras, in the Leo Carlsons of the world, etc. Does that maybe force a trade? I don't know. In Columbus, got Fantilli in front of him. Okay. But in San Jose, yes, there's William Eklund, but I think you can put Eklund on the wing. I think you can definitely have Celebrini as your number 1 within a year or 2 without a problem. A lot of these other teams might pose a bit of a problem in that sense, but is that really a problem? To have him as your number 2 with Bedard as your number 1 or as Carlson as your number 1, that's not really a problem per se, right? I wouldn't say that's a problem. No problem, King Turby. What are they saying here? On Sportsnet, what are they saying here? McDavid's jumped from 3 to 1, or to 4 to 1, and Chicago jumped from 3 to 1. McKinnon jumped for McKinnon. Colorado jumped for McKinnon. From 2 to 1, right? Who plays on the Sharks' first line next year if they win it, says Noah? You would think it's a mix of Celebrini, Eklund, and who's even going to be there? I don't know. Because Hurdle's gone. Couture is injured. Is Barabanov still going to be there? Kevin LeBanc? I don't know. Granlund's gone. Hoffman's gone. You would think maybe it's someone from free agency, Noah. They're gonna have a ton of money to throw around, and free agents will love that. At just 17, 16 team representatives are standing by to learn the outcome of the draft lottery. San Jose is hoping to retain that first overall selection, while 10 others have the chance to take it from them. And fans, San Jose, watch parties around the league. Columbus have gathered in hopes of extending their watch parties based on tonight's results. Speaking of parties, Utah hosted a great one for their new team a few weeks ago at the new franchise gets ready for their inaugural season. Utah. If you thought people went crazy last year for Bedard to Chicago, if Utah wins one of these picks, it's going to be chaos. As we saw earlier, there was a leak. I'm not going to say a leak, but there was a I'm not sure the NHL YouTube live stream. I'm not sure the NHL channel is doing that. There was rioting when a picture had gone up earlier saying that it was a rehearsal, that San Jose was at 1 and Utah was at 2. That was a rehearsal, just using the screen and all that. I do believe that it was just a rehearsal because the drawing doesn't happen until 5:30 unless the media has brainwashed me. But I do think that it was just a true rehearsal. If Utah does move up for 1 or 2, people are going to go crazy. Because the thing is, Utah, as much as hockey's not working in Arizona and all that, hockey's going to work well, at least for the first few years in Utah. They have their Gunther, they have their Cooley, they have their Simashev, they have their XYZ. They have so many good prospects that I would be really surprised to hear a narrative of they got to put Celebrini in Utah. I think they're going to have a lot of support regardless. The McMedia, exactly. Siliev at 3 for Mackenzie's kind of crazy. I could see Siliev at 3. I think 1 and 2. 1 is definitely Celebrini. I think 2 is Demidov. I'm quite confident in that. Siliev at 3. Oh, sorry. What am I saying? The odds are fooling me. Levshinov has been the one that many people have said at number 2. It's Mackenzie who puts him at 4. Sorry, I've been saying that's my bad there. Because Siliev has been. Hold on. Let me get this going here. Let me get this second. Liam O'Brien, the GOAT. RJ, welcome to the stream, buddy. They're showing some Canada and Latvia highlights right now. Demidov for sure, number 2. I would, I don't know. I see it. I see it. I'm not saying no, but there's a lot more questions at 2 than in previous years. Mighty Joe, yeah, no picks yet. Not late, no problem. Leafs will trade Marner for pick number 3. That would be something. I could see some trades happening in there. Oh my god, my computer is having such a hard time chugging along. I'm trying to open it. I love Elite Prospects. I hate their website. It is so hard to open. So as I'm talking to you right now, I'm just closing 50 ads and trying to scroll down. Oh my goodness. Love Elite Prospects, but I can't stand how slow the website is for me. Okay. Lindstrom to Montreal and Tidjagan to the Flames. That would be something. So here we go, finally. So the NHL Central Scouting has Levshinov at 2. And that's for North American skaters. That's the thing. Because if we look and include the European skaters, because, yeah, Levshinov's at 2. But if we include European skaters, that brings in, come on, you can do it. Yeah, you got Celebrini in studio as well. Whew, this is struggling. I'm sorry. So in European skaters, there's Siliev at number 1. So I think the top 4 is a mix of Celebrini, Siliev, Demidov, and Levshinov. I think that's a mix of the top of from 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4 is Siliev, Demidov, and Levshinov. Some mix of those 3. Now the question is who goes where, and once I think those guys are gone, who's in the 5, 6, 7? Are we talking Hellenius? Are we talking, go back to Bob McKenzie's rankings? Are we talking Lindstrom, Dickinson, Parik? I always have a tough problem with Zeev. Is it Buium? I have a tough time with that. I'm going to learn eventually, but prospect names are always a place where I struggle because we haven't heard them enough just yet. MBN sighting, yes. Elite Prospects, slowest site ever. You know, I'm closing it right now. I bet that my computer having such a hard time is 90% due to Elite Prospects. I try to close the tab, it won't even close right now. Okay, there we go. Whew. Tankathon, I think, has Celebrini, Demidov, Lindstrom, Levshinov, Yzerman as top 5. And that, I don't know. Yzerman 5th, I'm not sure. As much as he might end up being a top 5 pick down the road, I don't know if teams will take him top 5. Do you get what I'm saying? I think he's top 5 talent, but I don't know if a team takes him top 5. If the Habs got first, no, I think they would take Celebrini. I think they would do it. MBN, again, citing. Data, can I hear your wonderful and impeccable signature? Disgusting. Yeah, we'll get that in there. We'll get that in there for sure. Gary. Oh, Gary is all rise. Gary in studio.
Vegas. The draft will be the first event televised live from the Sphere. The 2024 draft will utilize Sphere's cutting-edge technologies. This will truly be a unique draft unlike any other.
There's some drone video we recently shot for you, Commissioner. I know you haven't seen that before tonight, and that's some of that cutting-edge technology you talked about.
That's why we're having it at Sphere Las Vegas. It's going to be great.
Yeah, you see there's the date right there, first round on the 28th, and then the rest of the draft on the 29th. Thanks so much for that amazing announcement, and enjoy the rest of the proceedings.
Thanks, Gary.
Great to be with you.
Great to be with you. Well, let's remind you of the rules that were put in place.
Okay, so let me read you the rules here. Let me just make sure we got it all down. So there are 2 drawings for 16 teams that did not make the playoffs. Teams can only move up a max of 10 spots. If a team in the 12 to 16 range wins wins the drawing, then the first stays with San Jose. Teams also cannot win the lottery more than twice in a 5-year period. So I think it said 3 times in 10 years. It's actually twice in 5 years now, I suppose. So there you go. Update of the rules. All right, Bill Daly's coming up.
Good evening.
All right, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to go from 16 down to 4. Here we go. This is it. 16 pick. Does St. Louis stick with 16, or is there already a crazy upset? All right, St. Louis Blues stay at 16. No upset there. Let me I'll bring the odds up for you on the screen. At 15, we stay Detroit. We stay Detroit at 15.
The 14th selection in the 2024 draft.
Pittsburgh, San Jose's watching this one. Pittsburgh stays 14. All right, they keep this. So San Jose keeps that pick. They keep that pick, and the Penguins will get to keep their 2025 first instead. Here's the big moment from Minnesota for all the Wild fans in the chat. Here we go.
The 13th selection.
Big Bill.
NHL draft belongs to
Minnesota Wild. Sorry, no Philly. No Philly at 13. Minnie stays at 13. MBN bound. 12. Are we seeing Philly? Or are we seeing Buffalo? Philly stays at 12. All right. No change. So anyone who wins the lottery now. Okay, they're pausing for Celebrini to talk to him now. Anyone who wins the lottery now moves up to first overall.
Wait, what's the?
All right, so you're going to be one of those teams coming up. It could be anyone from this point on. What's going on in your gut?
And now they got what's going on in your guts? Actually, I have a deep hatred for the good city of Ottawa. Like, what do you expect him to say? What do you expect him to say?
Go ahead, Bill.
All right, back to Bill. We ate up a few minutes of airtime.
In the 2024 draft goes to
11. Buffalo stays at 11. Tough time for Buffalo as their woes continue. New Jersey at 10. Oh, okay. The way he changed his phrasing, I thought it might be a little something there. All right, 10 to 16 stay the same now. We're now moving into teams with 5% or more. And they got to stop talking about Cole Eiserman now. Cole Eiserman, he's ranked 10th. Could he go to the Devils? Oh, my goodness. So any team now who could win, it's going to be a team with 5% odds or higher. So none of these teams from 0.5 to 3.5% to win the lottery, none of those teams will move up. It's going to be a team from Calgary down to San Jose. Calgary's going to be the next one. If we hear Calgary, if we hear Seattle, that means Calgary won one of the top picks.
9th overall selection.
Here we go.
2024 NHL draft belongs to
Calgary Flames. All right. Macklin's not going to Calgary.
The
8th. Are we going to hear Seattle or Ottawa?
Goes to
Seattle?
Seattle Kraken.
Okay. Seattle stays at 8. Come on, Gary. Come on, Gary. Ottawa. Ottawa on your feet. Or will we see Utah? Ottawa stays 7. Ottawa stays 7. At 6. Do we see Utah or does chaos ensue? Does chaos ensue? Don't show me Canadians. Don't show me Canadians. Okay, Utah 6. They reran the numbers. Gary, please. Come on, Gary. Gary, please. I've been so good to you. Gary? Oh, Gary. Okay, we stay 5. At least we didn't draw. We didn't fall. Okay, the Canadians didn't fall. Thank goodness. Whew. All right, San Jose, Chicago, Anaheim, or Columbus. Lindstrom, McGinley, Dickinson. They're showing some names now. Oh, Gary. Okay, so the team that won, it was one of the teams with 9.5% odds or higher. If Columbus wins, I'm going to snap because the Canadians just had to lose a couple more than they shouldn't have fought so hard. Oh, my goodness. I preferred it last year. After every selection, they made a quick little statement. The last time this team picked 7th was in 2002 when they got blah, blah, blah. All right. Bill Daly, here we go. Are we hearing Columbus or could it be Anaheim, Chicago? Who's dropping? Do we see Columbus? Okay, Columbus stays 4. The top 3 will be the top 3, but who is picking where? No big jumps in this one. Whew. All right, so you would think between Celebrini, Levchinov, and Silyev, if you think that's the top 3, there you go, San Jose, Chicago, Anaheim. Carlson's getting a buddy, Bedard's getting a buddy, and San Jose's getting somebody in that top 3.
We'll teach you what Zello is during the break, and when we come back,
Celebrini.
Find out.
Celebrini has a 66.6% chance of going to California. I bet he loves that. So does San Jose keep number 1, or does Chicago or Anaheim jump? When's the last time we had a perfectly normal draft? The Canadiens keeping number 1 was keeping number 1, but had anything else changed in that draft? Could be no changes. The 1 year I don't risk it. I had the couple years ago, I thought the Canadiens were going to take Shane Wright number 1. So I had started simulating a Yuri Slavkovsky Devils simulation. That's the lost, the SpongeBob Lost episode. That's the Data 782 Lost episode. I had simulated 4 seasons, the first 4 years. I was trying to get a jump on it of Slavkovsky to the Devils. And then what happens? The Canadiens take Slavkovsky first overall. So I was tempted to start the Celebrini sim with San Jose, but I said, watch, with my luck, it'll be just wasted time. I don't really have the time to waste, unfortunately. So like I said, I have to pull an all-nighter. I'll do my best to get Celebrini out like in 15 hours from now. It might be impossible, but if it's possible, it'll get done. So we're waiting now on a commercial break. One of these 3 teams, Chicago, San Jose, or Anaheim. If we run a sim with one of those 3 picks winning it, do we see one of those 3? No, New Jersey can't do it. And again, there's Anaheim getting it once. Let's run 10 sims. That's San Jose 1, Anaheim 1. If it's one of those 3 teams, Anaheim 2. They got cheated out of the draft last year. Chicago gets 1. Anaheim gets another. I don't know. The lottery here is favoring Anaheim in the simulations we're running here. Chicago gets another one there. San Jose another one here. Just for fun. Hey Ryan, welcome to the stream, buddy. Either nothing or Chicago jumps to 1 and everyone's upset. That's probably it, eh, Golden? That'll probably be it. San Jose dropping to 3 would cause chaos in the Discord server for sure. We're just waiting on the commercial break now for the last 3 picks. So we'll get 3rd overall, and then we'll figure out 1 and 2. Does Anaheim get retribution after missing out last year? Anaheim, 59 points. Yeah, they weren't. Even the Canadiens probably. I'm glad the Canadiens got where they got. If Utah won the lottery, if Ottawa won the lottery, it would be upsetting. But Columbus, I don't know, 10 points away. Canadiens probably weren't that close to getting 4th worst odds. So anyone from here, at least I'm not upset about that, about Montembeault saving a few games. If Chicago gets first, can Chicago not get first until like 2027? I suppose you're right. So they wouldn't be able to win a lottery again until that time, right? So here we go. We're back on Sportsnet here.
The excitement in Anaheim, San Jose, and Chicago for that.
There's Celebrini, 6-foot center, shoots left, 190 pounds. Thanks for all the stats.
Has never gone first overall in the NHL draft. Where is his future home going to be?
Let's hear it, Bill. Number 3. Do we see Anaheim at 3?
Selection in the 2024 NHL draft belongs to the Anaheim Ducks.
Anaheim stays at 3. San Jose or Chicago. Oh my. Here we go. If it's Chicago, people are going to snap. They're going to snap. San Jose truly needs him, so I'm rooting for San Jose as much as I'd love to see Coping in the Discord server. Here we go. First overall pick, Celebrini. Going to the San Jose Sharks. All right, number 2, Chicago. And Macklin Celebrini off to the San Jose Sharks. Mike Greer, not even cracking a smile. Great news. Big results for San Jose. Exactly what they needed. So no changes in this lottery. No change whatsoever to the selections, as Macklin Celebrini will join the currently poverty San Jose Sharks to hopefully be a part of something big with Eklund, with Smith, with Graf. Hopefully there's much more to come for San Jose as well. It's going to be an exciting time for the Sharks as they who else? Quinton Musty, Philip Bystedt, a lot of names out there. We'll see how it works out for the Sharks. How long has it been since that happened? I'm not sure. So all that to say, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to end it off in the next couple minutes here. I got to go get started on the NHL 24 Macklin Celebrini sim. Subscribe if you haven't already, because in 15 hours' time, I'm hoping to have a Macklin Celebrini career sim with the San Jose Sharks. Does he stay in San Jose? Do the Sharks become a dynasty? Does he move on to other things because he's being slighted, not given the ice time? What could it be? I'll be looking forward to that one coming out tomorrow in a perfect world. Worst case, absolute worst case, it's out on Thursday. But I'm going to pull the all-nighter, and I'm going to try my best to get it out by tomorrow for, like, I don't know, 9 a.m. or 10 a.m. Let's try 10 a.m. Eastern in a perfect world. I know we're still looking for Easton Cowan. I know. San Jose's first time drafting at number 1. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you enjoyed it, thanks for coming. Thanks for spending some time here in the draft lottery with us. Leave a like if you did. And like I said, subscribe if you haven't already to get the career sim from Macklin Celebrini in your inbox. Hit the notification bell as well to get that notification, hopefully in about 15 hours time or so. All right. Thanks, everybody, for being here. Much love to you. Have a great rest of your evening. And hopefully I can get a couple hours of shut-eye. Looking forward to it. Hope you'll enjoy the sim coming soon your way. Celebrini to the Sharks. We'll see you again next year for the 2025 draft lottery. And we will also be live on Thursday evening for our NHL 24 franchise mode. So join us then, 7 p.m. Eastern on Thursday for NHL 24 content. Thanks, everybody. Have a great night, and we'll talk soon.